Greetings of the day to all the listeners. Thank you so much for joining in. Hope all of you are doing great and welcome to another episode of Simply Gita, where we shall explore the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Every chapter of the Gita provides us with some unique knowledge, and in this chapter, Krishna mentions about the realization of truth and also about his real side. Krishna tells Arjun to keep him in his mind and keep practicing yoga. And then he tells Arjun to hear that how, by being fully absorbed in Krishna, Arjun can know him without any doubt. The Lord tells that the knowledge which he shall provide is the maximum knowledge which a person can have. And once Arjun understands that knowledge, there will be nothing left in the world for him to know. Once Arjun understands this knowledge, there won't be any doubt which will be left in his mind. There are many people who engage in worshipping the Supreme through ceremonies and hymns, but out of those thousands, there is only one who sacrifices for Krishna. Out of the many yogis who engage in sacrifices and follow the instructions of Krishna, rarely there is one person who knows the true nature of Krishna. This verse makes it clear that we should not look at Krishna as an ordinary being who used to play the flute. In reality, Krishna is different from the ordinary, and it is not so easy to understand Krishna. Krishna initially tells about his own nature. He tells that earth, water, fire, wind, ether, mind, intelligence, and pride, all these 8 factors are parts of his material energy. The 5 elements, along with mind, intelligence, and pride, which makes the entire world, is actually Krishna. Besides, another superior energy of Krishna includes the living beings who are exploiting the resources of material nature. In the next verse, it becomes clear that everything has originated from Krishna and will one day get absorbed in Krishna. Krishna tells Arjun that all living beings have emerged from 2 natures, material and spiritual, and Krishna is the origin and the end of both these natures. Here it is to be noted that everything is Krishna. He is not just the form that we worship, but he is the very reason behind this universe. Krishna had told Arjuna to be situated in yoga with his mind focused on the Supreme. Now he tells Arjun the form of Krishna where Arjun should be focused on. He tells that there is no truth which is greater than him, and the entire world takes support of Krishna just like the pearls are supported by the string. Undoubtedly, the statement may not be very easy for the most of us to understand, but if we try to, we will definitely understand the same one day. Everything that is visible and invisible is actually Krishna. Now Krishna mentions about his real form and look. He tells Arjun that he is the taste of water, the light of sun and the moon, the Om chant in the Vedas, the sound in ether, and his ability in the man. Without any taste, water has no significance. Without light, sun and moon serve no purpose. One most important thing which is mentioned in the Vedas is the Om chant. The ether is a result of the sound energy vibrations, and ability in a person is what enables him or her to move ahead in life. All these factors which are most important for the world are actually Krishna, indicating that Krishna is the supreme cause behind everything that exists in the world. Any element which is pure in a substance, any factor which is unique is actually Krishna. The Lord tells that he is the real fragrance of the earth and also the heat in fire. He is the life of all living beings, be it humans, animals, plants, and so on. And as for the hermits, Krishna tells that for the hermits, he is the penance, which is the highest power for the hermit. In other words, Krishna is the purpose as well as the result of everything that exists. Krishna is slowly removing the layers that cover his real form. While further explaining about his reality, the Lord mentions that Arjun should understand Krishna to be the seed, that is the origin of all living beings, be it those who were in the past, those who were in the present, or those who may be in the future. Krishna tells that he is the intelligence of the intelligent people and the courage of all powerful men. Whatever skill which is present in a thing or a human is Krishna. He tells Arjun that he is the strength of the strong people, but such strength is free from passion or attachment. Krishna tells that in the living beings, he is also the lust which is in accordance with the Vedic principles. The work which is correct according to the Vedas, such work is Krishna. The body is the one which experiences hunger and thirst, but not the soul. This concept is slightly different but very interesting. Krishna explains something similar in the next verse. He tells that the modes of nature in a living being, be it the moral mode, be it the active mode or the dark mode, such modes are actually a result of the energy of Krishna. Though Krishna is the cause of these modes, he himself is independent of these modes of material nature. He is not just the modes. He is not under the modes, but the modes are within him. Just like the soul is not dependent because it does not experience hunger, but the body does, in the same way, Krishna, who is the super soul, is independent of the material existence, but we humans are dependent on him. Whatever actions we human beings perform, we do so either in the moral mode, in the active mode, or the dark mode. The entire world is amazed and under the influence of these three modes, but the one who is beyond these three modes is Krishna. Once we go beyond these three modes, we start experiencing Krishna. Mostly all the people are trapped in these modes of material nature, that is moral, active and dark modes, which makes it very difficult for them to understand the real form of Krishna. These three modes give rise to an illusion which is undoubtedly difficult to overcome. The Lord tells that those people who surrender to Krishna and keep faith in him are able to get rid of this illusion and thereby reach him. The Supreme Lord Krishna tells that the people whose knowledge has been stolen through illusion, such people who have demon-like nature, who are the lowest among humans and who participate in the wrong deeds with atheistic nature, such people do not surrender to him. Such corrupt criminals are full of pride and they think that they are the ones who do everything, but such people neither worship Krishna nor follow his instructions. But we have a choice to make if we want to follow the instructions of the Supreme or keep our mindset as that of the criminals mentioned before. The Supreme tells that there are 4 types of people who worship him and keep him in his mind. Firstly, there are those people who engage in work and worship him for the material things in the world. Secondly, there are people who are attached to wealth and things of such nature, and they worship Krishna to obtain and to fulfill these desires. Thirdly, there are those people who are in sorrow and they want to escape from their troubles. And fourthly, there are those people who are curious and actually interested in knowing the absolute knowledge of Krishna. If we believe and worship Krishna, then we also undoubtedly belong to one of these categories. There may be many people who worship Krishna, but now the Lord tells about those people who are dear to him. He tells Arjun that the person who is situated in full knowledge and is always engaged in devotional service, meaning that he engages in action as per the instructions of Krishna, such a person is a pure devotee and is very dear to Krishna. Such people are dear to Krishna because they are curious about the knowledge and they follow his instructions rather than merely following an outward display of devotion. Krishna tells that the people who are in the 4 categories of devotees are generous souls because they are at least trying to reach the Supreme. They are trying to develop their souls. But he tells that though they are generous souls, only the one who is in knowledge is able to reach him, and he considers such a person just like himself. The one who is in knowledge uses the mind and intelligence to get fully absorbed in Krishna, meaning to say that such a person follows the instructions of the Supreme with his mind and intelligence, and he or she has no selfish motive behind worshipping Krishna. It is not possible to understand the true nature of Krishna in just one life. It takes many lives for a soul to understand the knowledge of the Absolute and the reality of Krishna. The person who after many lives is able to obtain this knowledge and understand that Krishna is the cause of everything, such a soul is a great soul and is indeed very rare. The soul which keeps on trying to understand the Supreme in every life is the one who succeeds. As a result of attachment and material desires, in every life, our deeds are accumulated, which then affect our nature, and as a result of this nature, we choose our gods and worship them. In every life, we accumulate pious activities as well as sins, and on the basis of this, we choose our gods. The rules of different gods are also different, and such people follow the rules of their chosen god. Now Krishna speaks about those people who worship other gods. He tells that he is the super soul who is present in the heart of every living being, and when a person wants to worship any particular god, then he helps them in doing so by making their faith steady in that form of god. We can choose our own god, and Krishna will surely help us by making our faith steady. With steady faith, when we worship that particular god, then we surely obtain our desires. Every god has some rules, and our fruits will be obtained according to those rules, but Krishna tells that in reality, all these benefits are provided only by him. We only have to engage in devotion, and again, this should not be misunderstood as leaving our responsibilities and only engaging in the devotion of God. We have to carry out the duties in the best possible manner with our immense faith in the Supreme Lord. Krishna welcomes such people who want to worship other gods, but he also gives a warning that the ones who worship other gods, they obtain fruits which are limited and temporary, and they reach the planets of those gods. But those devotees who sincerely worship him ultimately reach his supreme planet. The Lord tells that he is the one who has always existed and will always exist. There's no denying the fact that Krishna is the one who has always existed and will always exist. The intelligent people try to understand the real form of Krishna, but the unintelligent one think of him as an ordinary person. We should not misunderstand Krishna as an ordinary person. If we do so, we only waste our time, efforts, and also our life. The reality cannot be changed, and in reality, the nature of Krishna is the highest, and it is one which cannot be perished. Krishna has hidden his real self through an illusion, and he never shows his real form to the foolish and ignorant people. Such people think of Krishna as the one who takes birth and dies, but knowledge or yoga is that source through which one may know the real nature of Krishna by going beyond illusion. There is no dearth of fools as well as intelligent people. We have to make a choice and decide our surroundings. If we associate ourselves with fools, their life will be troublesome because their way of thinking is completely wrong. This world is undoubtedly a play of many lives. We were present in the ancient ages in a different form, and we will continue to exist in the future in some other form. Krishna tells Arjuna that he knows about the past, the present, as well as the things which will happen in the future. God tells that he knows everyone, but no person without pure devotion knows him in reality. Here the word devotion should not merely be understood as doing puja or chanting holy names. If we are not involved in our work as per the instructions of Krishna, then this also indicates lack of devotion. Many of us may wonder that what exactly is the real reason behind the fact that rarely a person is able to understand the true nature of Krishna. This happens because in all of us there is attachment which rises due to desire or hatred, and this attachment is what destroys our intelligence. Firstly, we have to get rid of the desire and the hate within us so that we are free from dualities or extreme emotional states. Only then can we understand the real nature of Krishna. The person who, by carrying out his or her duties without any desire and by engaging in action, has been able to completely stop the sinful activities, such persons are able to free themselves from the dualities of hate and desire. Such people are able to understand the true nature of the Supreme. The one possible way for us to get rid of these sins is by engaging in action without any desire. Such work with faith will help us in getting rid of sins. Throughout the Gita, the importance of carrying out the prescribed duties and engaging in action has been highlighted. An important thing to note is that Krishna never suggested us to leave the world, leave our responsibilities, and accept the lifestyle of a monk. In fact, Krishna refers to those people who do not carry out their responsibilities as impostors. Krishna tells that the people who take refuge in him and engage in sacrifices to obtain liberation, such people are able to obtain the supreme knowledge. Here, sacrifice could also indicate the performance of the prescribed duties. The one who is trapped in attachment, desire, and hate, such a person can never understand Krishna. Only those people are able to understand the supreme knowledge of Krishna who look at Krishna in everything, be it a human, an animal, or even an object. Such a person sees Krishna in the soul of all the people. He knows about the everlasting nature of Krishna and ultimately reaches Krishna. With this, we have come to the end of the 7th chapter of the Gita, where the Lord mentions that He is beyond the 3 modes of nature and speaks about the people who know Him and the ones who do not know His reality. We shall meet again in the next chapter to resume our journey. Hope the podcast was able to provide you with value. Have a great day ahead and stay tuned for the next episode.